What's up, everybody? Welcome back. My name is Cop, and we are here with the Mox Masters in December. We are about to go into the fifth round. I am super excited to be here. I'm joined by my host, Lucas, aka Deck says. Lucas, thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, thank you for having me on here. I'm excited to be here. We've seen a lot of gameplay happening, and have the second year of the series be able to fire off, it's incredible to see. We've seen a lot of great gameplay today. However, we really wanted to emphasize that it wouldn't be possible without all the viewers and all the current players that we have going on today. So if you guys want to turn your attention to the chat, there will be links that will be posted for our auction. We got a charity auction going on for SBCS San Diego. They transform communities around the area for children, youth everywhere in the San Diego community, affecting more than 50,000 lives. Two of the play mats that were from last year's Masters Invitationals are being auctioned off. And who wouldn't love a little crummy boy in order to play on top of? I'm very happy to see this charity go off. I wish I had more money to donate myself. Thank you all for supporting. Let's get ready to get into some gameplay footage here.
Absolutely. As somebody who loves the color orange, I'm really, really jealous of that orange crommy boy, but I'm going to let somebody else take it home. So put those bids in. The auction does end at 7 o'clock. That means you have about an hour and a half to get your bids in for both those playmats. Yeah, this next game is super exciting. We are predicting that it's going to go pretty fast. There doesn't seem to be a lot of stacks pieces here, but we are definitely looking at some Kennen. We got some Paco Halden, some Korvald, and some Tibna Krom coming in. So we're just looking over these deck lists prior to going back from the BRB.
Definitely not a slow list in this site. Like, you can obviously play Timnacrom a bit slower and a bit more on the controlly side, but when you're in a composition like this in the third position, I can see Timnacrom trying to be a bit greedy here, trying to get into the coveted top 16 where you get points in order to get into Mox Masters 2024. It's the whole reason why we're here.
Absolutely. And everybody so far, there's a pretty close top 16, which is why we were very interested in jumping into this pod, because these are in the sort of make or break side of this, right? Like win or lose is how you're going to break into top 16 or not. If you have been in the chat for the whole time, I've also been watching these games all day, and they have been very exciting. The last game with that Rock win was super tight. So I'm hoping we get some action and some really great plays in this game coming up.
I didn't expect nothing less. Like, we've really throughout the entire community really culminated in a really tight group of players that are able to play whenever, wherever, whatever at this point, because we've seen everything from Timna Blue Farm to our undefeated deck today, being Jensen, the 5-color Lurus deck. Yeah. Who on earth could have predicted that coming in here and topping it? Being able to end up 3-0-2. I believe they just finished up a draw themselves for the round. Cowboy Bob finished up with Tivit. Quentin is on Tevish Thrasios, of which, first of all, Thrasios we haven't heard in a long time, yes. Let alone Tivit being your 5-mana planeswalker that everybody has to target down in order to finish it up. Yeah. And then rounding off our top 4 is Chungus, who's played Blue Farm. Once again, very solid deck, but a lot of new decks that popped into these top 4. So
yeah, the Jensen 5-color, I was literally looking at the list and I was like, why does this matter? Oh, because it's the only 5-color commander that works under Lurus. I see. Also, I feel like we're channeling Shakira tonight with the whenever, wherever, honey, is what this community is. I will say, though, one of the things that we were talking about prior was Born Upon the Wind, and I do see it in the Tibna Krom list here for Luke K9. I am super excited if we can resolve a Born Upon the Wind, because it was literally on the tip of our tongues a few minutes ago.
It's such a flexible card, and there's so many decks that can play it. Kennen can play it. Tibna Krom can play it. Heck, even Paco can technically play it. If you exile it from somebody else's deck and they flip a Born Upon the Wind, you can win from literally out of nowhere. Breach, Brain Freeze, done.
Done so. And as we just learned, only $1 5 cents for foil. I was literally shopping for it to add to my wish list, and I was like, oh, it's cheap.
Trying to finish resolving mulligans here as we get into our gameplay footage. Just really excited to see what our top 16 is looking like. And I forgot to pull up something else over here on my main screen.
Yeah, that's fine. I listen, I will also say I'm super excited to be here. This is my first time commentating for Playing with Power, and I am just really grateful for the opportunity. If y'all don't know me, I have been streaming on Twitch for the past 3 years doing casual EDH commentary. So this is a big first for me, and I'm just happy to see everybody. Chat, thank you so much for hanging out. Whether you're live or whether you're lurking, you matter out here, and you are keeping this stream active. And also, just to throw it back, thank you so much for the raid earlier from Cobra Girl Blue.
Yeah.
If you're still here from that raid, thank you so much for sticking around. It's going to get more exciting throughout the night. So, like, if you're hype now, it's just going to get more and more hype as the night goes on when we go into semifinals and then finals. So, welcome to a fun Saturday cedh tournament evening, I hope.
Definitely a lot of fun. I know I myself have been playing in multiple cedh tournaments, even back before we had the Mox Master series, when February had their Playing with Power tournament in 2021, all the way to more recently competing over at Lotus Con. I have done, it's been a amazing ability in order to see such a strong community come together and essentially build a format of what we all know and love now and today. So it's been a lot of fun participating in all these tournaments. It's been excited to see how these decks evolved. Because when I first started, Timnocrom wasn't a huge thing. It was a bit through the woodworks. And then it transitioned into a storm list. And then it transitioned into the monstrosity mid-range list it is today.
Yeah.
We played Corval Treasure Storm in my local pod, Paco Halden, like all these decks that are in front of that we'll be showcasing for this matchup has been in my local play group at one point or the other. It's been a lot of fun to see it evolve, and can't wait to see where it goes next.
Yeah. Do you know what we call that? Growth. All right, here we go, chat. Let's get into this game, shall we?
All right. Looks like we're starting off typical ramp. Starting off with a Elvish Mystic over here. And let's see. Waiting for the... Ooh, that's a bit way too foily. Let's see if we could get that card.
Yeah.
Soul Ring into a Cursed Totem.
That is pretty spicy. That is a pretty spicy turd one already. Oof.
Definitely doesn't allow a whole lot to happen underneath that Cursed Totem. Definitely slows down the table enough for you to fire off your Paco, start exiling cards, start pumping him up. And so that way you have your Halden off to the side as a backup game plan. We're looking very good from the second seat position over here.
Yeah, Kinnan is not happy already, chat. Let's see. We're going to do a City of Brass here, tap it, take a damage, into a Soul Ring. Soul Ring into an Arcane Signet. Solid start.
You really, like, as much as I love seeing Corval get started, you don't want it to get going. There's an Imperial Seal.
Yeah, into Imperial Seal, yep.
9 times out of 10, this Imperial Seal gets one card and one card only for this deck, and that's Dockside Extortionist.
Sounds about right.
You're able to reanimate it back and forth a heck of a lot. But right now, it is in such a very strong ramping position. Could even get Mana Crypt in order to...
Well, unfortunately, it got mental misstep there by the Paco Halden player, so I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon.
That's a very fast way to stop and a very good tutor to stop right there.
Yep, and there's a turn 2 Rhystic Study off the Ancient Tomb.
Who needs your Mana Dork when you could just top deck an Ancient Tomb and land a Rhystic Study?
That's what I say every time.
Turn it on over into the Paco Halden turn, and we got a Mystic Remora landing here. I think that one's Mystic. Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's a Mystic Remora.
Oh, man. Paying for the Rhystic, obviously, and we are about to see card draw between seat 1 and 2 up here.
Crack the fetch on the instep here from Timnocrom. Let's see what happens on their turn.
I'm hoping I would hope for their turn that we are looking at either a slow stacks like Dothy Voidwalker or a
Mm,
no, the new Dauntless card that came from
love.
Ixalan.
Yes, absolutely.
um, it's either that or they have a 2 mana ramp spell such as Arcane Signet, something in order to get them a big boost in this game because they've really kept a hand that's kept them behind the
Yeah.
other three positions here.
I would love the Dothia. I'd love the Dauntless Dismantler because it's not going to feed the fish, right? At least we don't give two people cards. We only give them one.
It's a very strong card too because it's a hard stop for Corfold. When you're trying to sacrifice your artifacts and draw a bunch of cards, you can't necessarily sacrifice treasures if you can't tap them. So all
Mhm.
the treasures coming into play tap would be a huge card here.
Yeah. I
Um,
immediately took out the Blind Obedience for a Dauntless Dismantler. As soon as it got spoiled, I was like, rip right out the door, Blind
it,
Obedience.
it's a very easy 1-for-1 for a lot of these white decks that you got running around here, including your Amanatu deck.
Yeah.
Although for me personally, I think I'd run both of them for Amanatu
Mm.
because for Amanatu you can extort. You can't extort as easily into Timna list, the Timna Crom list, or
True.
a lot of Timna lists, honestly.
Crack the Bloodstained Mire. Looks like they're going to be shortcutting the land here, chat. Oh, into the Lotho. Oh my gosh, Lotho the bestest boy. I love Lotho.
Lotho's the bestest boy? How
He is because he's doing the work of the community. He is a sheriff. He's out. Listen, corrupt is a matter of moral choice, like moral lens. Okay, like that's my opinion.
how dare you say that when Paco is sitting right there in the command zone?
It's true. It's true.
Only the bestest boy gets to play Magic the Gathering.
The Lotho is going to catch the Tim Necroma player for sure.
Very much so. I've found more and more that the life loss behind Lotho's downside whenever they cast a second spell doesn't really affect as hard as what I thought. So
It really doesn't.
finale of
Ooh, that is a
devastation.
finale.
We got X equals 2. We're paying for the Ristic study, but drawing for Mystic Remora.
Sure. Priority passing.
Interesting. So once again, we're back to the dockside extortionist. We're trying to find it.
Yep.
This dockside is tremendously bigger than the last one. One, two, three, four. Yep, we're at 4 right now.
Sure.
Or 3 right now. No, 4. We're at 4 right now. And 4 might be enough in order to fire off a diabolic intent can be found here, or oh shoot, I haven't played that. There's a black mana ritual that's 1 black and you sacrifice a creature.
Chat says, yeah, 5 mana to get 4 mana. Absolutely, chat. Math, that's what we're here for. Let's see.
The point isn't to get more mana, and chat, I think a lot of chat knows that too. But the point is to get dockside. Because dockside is your bread and butter. If you exile the dockside, you're in trouble. I've seen a Corvold list try to operate without a dockside, and it's like watching a dog for the first time walk around in their winter boots. It was
Yep.
it was really awkward. Oh, what we got played there? What card is that?
That is a dark ritual, looks like.
That is a really old.
That is a really old dark
That is a
ritual,
really old
yes.
dark ritual.
No, it actually is. I'm checking the deck list. It is definitely an old dark red.
All right, hell yeah. Paying for Ristic Study.
Yeah. Into Corval? Yep. Ristic gets the draw.
It gets, oh man. There's nothing better than getting a draw from a Ristic Study.
Corval resolves. Wow. Okay. All right. Here we go.
I don't think we're in a great position to fire off here. Like, obviously, you're going to sacrifice the dockside to get it into the bin, get your reanimate spells ready. and get ready to draw a bunch of cards here.
That is indeed, chat. That is a magic card. I'm half expecting the Corvold player to do something with the green playmat as if it's like a green screen that he's ready. Little production value.
Oh man, you're putting too much work behind the scenes.
I know.
And there it is, landing our first reanimation spell for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And here we're off to the races, folks. Corvold Treasure Storm is here. Dockside coming back in to create 4 treasures.
Yep.
Let's see. Yep, and there was a
There's a little debate about no. You should definitely crack the treasures here, please crack your treasures.
I was wondering if they ran past the Lotho trigger, but then I saw the treasure off to the corner of that board there. But yeah, absolutely sacrifice the treasure. 4 treasure and 3 cards in hand, make it 4. Oh, this is where it gets fun.
I'm very interested to see where this goes too, because either they have interaction and they're holding it, or they just don't have interaction because the Corvold resolved and then the reanimation spell resolved, right? Like that's where we're at. How far does this treasure storm situation go?
As far as the heuristic study draws will allow them to, because there is both a heuristic and a mystic on 2 very controlling decks. Like we saw this Paco deck earlier and was able to try to lock down the game as best it could and made it all the way through. It almost made it through Roxai once again. But Roxai was able to pull it off at the end. And then Kennen, of course, a very heavy blue deck in and of its own right. It would prefer to see big creatures on the battlefield, but at the same time, you're able to draw a Force of Will. You're able to draw a Force of Negation.
Yeah, as somebody who is like new to this format as of this year, I've been hearing so much about Kennen, and then I finally got to play against one on a stream, a cedh stream, like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I understand. I understand completely now.
We are landing a Deathrite Shaman here. Looks like we're slowing down a bit, especially with the Cursed Totem on the battlefield at the same time. And we'll see green mana. A Graph Digger's Cage, right?
No, it's a Hope of Geoper there.
Oh, that is Hope. There it is.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Graph Digger's Cage. That's not right for that deck.
No.
you can't cast Dockside from the graveyard if you have a Graph Diggers.
It's a big turn and a big dragon, but then we pass. We are back over to Kennen here. Looks like this is going to be Kennen turn 3. Yeah, I think so.
I'm excited. Cursed Totem, obviously a great first card to land. Really got Kennen in a bind here because you can't activate Kennen if you land him, and you can't activate any of your creature mana source.
Yeah, I feel like that was probably a snap keep from the Paco Halden. If their opening hand is a land, Soul Ring, Cursed Totem, doesn't matter what else it is. Snap keep against Kennen for sure.
Let's see. Trying to decide what else we got going on here.
Looks like there's some table chatter here. Player not really sure what to do, asking cards in hand.
Interesting. Windfall would be terrifying here. I don't think Kennen decks run Windfall here.
No.
I think we're trying to find a solution for the Corvold problem.
There is a conversation with the table around feeding the fish to find a solution for the giant dragon.
Yeah, that is a big dragon right now. Let's see. What is it? Is it actually a
Well, let's see. We had 4 treasures on the first round. Well, no, because we needed some of those treasures to get to the Corvold. It's a lot of dice on there.
Yes, it is. It should be 6 counters on him,
Okay.
and I can't remember its base power and toughness. That's the issue that I'm having. It's either a 5/5
Well, it's
or
a
a 4/4.
4/4. Yeah,
It's
he's
a
a 4/4.
4/4. So it is currently a 10/10. That's a big dragon.
That is a big dragon. Gonna player tapping for 3 here, taking 2 off the Ancient Tomb. For a Manglehorn. Okay.
Wow.
Manglehorn gonna definitely target that Cursed Totem.
You know, I
No.
loved that we came into this gameplay expecting to have a fast game, right?
Yeah.
But then we got a turn 1 Manglehorn. And now we got a turn 1
Turn.
Cursed Totem.
Yeah.
And now we're getting a Manglehorn that's going to cause all of these Dockside treasures to enter the battlefield tapped, cause all the Lotho treasures to enter the battlefield tapped, which
Yeah.
is scary in its own right, specifically because Dockside's going to come back in over and over and over again.
Well, and it's gonna get rid of the Cursed Totem too, which is it basically just unlocks the Kinnan deck and shuts the other decks down completely.
Mhm. I think this is a very good swing play right here. Unless Hako has a response for it.
There's conversation on the table right now between removing the Soul Ring and removing the Cursed Totem because it would leaving the Cursed Totem shuts down the Kinnan player, but removing the Soul Ring sort of removes his ability to remove the Korvold Pact in response to the Manglehorn.
It looks like we're showing Pact.
No, we are showing that for sure. They're definitely having a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Of which you can't cast Pact because you'll lose in your next upkeep.
Absolutely.
Not enough mana from the Pockle Halden player yet. Trying to get as much information as we can here. Let's see. Who is it searching for this information? Is it the Timna Crom player?
And no, it sounds like the Kinnan player right now is doing most of the conversation around what do I remove, right? Do I remove the Soul Ring to limit the mana? If I limit the mana, it removes the Paco Halden player's ability to try and remove the Korvold, which could kill all of us anyway. Or do I remove the Cursed Totem, which is the thing stopping me from doing anything at all?
I think at this point, especially when you're the player who's playing from behind, unlock yourself so that way you're able to interact with the table once again. You're the one who has the permanent draw through the Ristic Study. Who knows how long this Mystic Remora is going to stay on the battlefield? No, I think 9 times out of 10, this Manglehorn targets the Cursed Totem here.
Yeah, I open it up to the chat. What do we think, chat? Which one would you have the Manglehorn target, Cursed Totem or the Soul Ring?
Oh, hey, looky there. You got yourself a spam.
Oh my gosh. Hi, band. Thank you so much, mods, for the band hammer. Look at that.
But 9 times out of 10 here, you're going to hit the Cursed Totem in order to just... Because Kinnan is reliant on its ability, and especially its ability to produce extra mana here.
Yeah, chat's also echoing that too. Gotta be the totem every time. Yep. And it's not. And it's got.
How much time do we have left for that auction?
Auction will be closing at 7 o'clock. It is 5:53, so you have about an hour and 7 minutes left to get those bids in on both of those play mats, or one of them, whichever one you're interested in, the blue or the orange. All of those donations do go to an amazing, amazing cause. So you are running out of time.
Looks like we resolved Manglehorn.
We did.
Got rid of the Cursed Totem. Excellent choice. Well done. Went on into the next turn. We paid a mana for the Mystic Remora, and pop goes the Weasel.
Pop goes the Weasel. Yeah. We also have Blue K9 on a little bit of a disconnect here. Let's see if they can reconnect in time.
Look, gotta get back quickly. So
yeah.
Unless there was a judge call on that. Nope,
there we go.
We're back.
Great.
Quick little in and out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a good burger chain. I hope I can go to it someday.
I literally just had my first In-N-Out when I was in California, and I was like, the hype is real. It was a great experience. Like I was like, this is going to be a regular situation, like a regular burger. And I was like, nope, This is awesome. For how
Hell
cheap it
yeah.
was, ooh, chef's
Hell
kiss,
yeah.
chat.
And
Oh,
wow. Uh-oh.
we got
Second
another
one
one.
gone. I don't know about that. Like I continue to hear good things about In and Out, you know. Like I also hear good things about Whataburger, but let's be
Never.
real here. The Whataburger capital has been replaced by Bucky's.
Yeah.
Like if you're not if you're in the South and you don't go to a Bucky's, what are you doing with your life?
What are you doing with it?
What are you doing? You're going to literally the biggest gas station ever. There should not be a gas station the size of a small town in Illinois.
Looks like Paco Halton drops an Arcane Signet, I believe. And then we pass to the Tim McCrom player.
Mhm. Trying to continue to produce mana over here. We're in a semi-slow state, but at the
Yeah,
same
that
time,
it's the city of Brass and Pass.
we're in a very slow board state right here. Manglehorn is definitely not helping the other players. Definitely very nervous as soon as Kennen is able to land over here. Because we don't know. Kennen's been drawing so many cards. And I just realized that's
Corval.
Wounded Satellite.
Yeah, the
I
Corval
just
for
realized
sure.
who the player was. I'm like, wait, this seems familiar.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Very good YouTuber. Always enjoys his
Chats
stuff.
on Five Guys, chats on Rudy's is the goat. We've diverted the whole stream into conversations about fast food chains. Anyway, here's a Corval.
Dragon's got to roast you, you know. I
Oh
haven't had
yeah.
Rudy's yet either. I need to become a bit more cultured, but I love Five Guys. Five Guys is great.
I feel like this. I feel like.
Corvold.
Mhm.
Oh, we're coming in for 10 and a 1 with Hope of Gear per over here.
Yeah, but who the Hope of Gear per goes at is actually pretty important, I think.
Mhm. Probably coming in if I was in on this conversation, of which I'm not. I would imagine it would be coming in on the Kinnan player, as Kinnan has been drawn the most amount of cards here.
Corval trigger sack the dockside.
Draw a card. Another counter is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 7.
Yep.
It is. So who did the Hope go?
The hope.
Who's the Hope going towards? I know you got an ear to the ground.
Yeah. They are talking about interaction to stop it right now. I'm figuring out who the hope is going towards.
Interaction to stop the dragon. Okay. Because yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, with a full grip, Corvold could absolutely go off right here, right now. The only thing that would there, like obviously you kill Corvold, you're in a good spot. But I can also see Corvold having necromancy and just being able to flash it in order to get Dockside on the battlefield. Okay.
Trigger on the stack here for sacking the Hope of Gearper. It looks like it did go into the wounded. It went into wounded satellite, went into Kennen. In response, sacks the Hope of Gearper. Kennen is responding to the activation. March of Swirling Mist. Targeting the Corvold right now, chat.
Very good card. Very good card for very good card for, first of all, Kennen, because the table doesn't die right away. But as a Corvold player, you would much rather to see your dragon phase out rather than bounce back to your hand right away.
Absolutely. And he's totally fine with it. He's like, yeah, that's fine, resolves.
you just sit a turn and you're in a very comfortable spot. You're even at a point where you can even pass the turn. Oh, excuse me.
You have the Deathrite Shaman online now since the Curse Totem is off the board. I wonder if he's going to use that for any leverage here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does have 6 mana, plus the land drop. 7. It's a Cradle.
I mean, with Corvold off the table, it's kind of hard to, obviously push through for a win this turn. Unless they have exactly like Praetor's Grasp or another way to get another card through opponents in their hand.
Yeah, passes the turn. No need to do anything here. We'll go into Kennen turn 4, chat. This is turn 4.
How many cards does Kennen have in their hand right now?
That is a great question.
It looks like a fat stack.
Absolutely. Speaking of burger chains, this is a really fat stack, chat. Dang
it. So if I were Kennen here, we're looking to get our commander out. We're looking to do the Kennen thing. We're looking to tap our creatures tap our lands in order to flip into big creatures or combo creatures. Because this Kennen list, I need to double check it. I don't think it runs Perplexing Chimera.
It does. It does indeed.
See, and that's always a dangerous card right there because you can, especially with Corvold, you can take control of the resurrection spell, resurrect the dockside onto your own battlefield, and now it's just there. Yeah. Now it's just on your battlefield.
Flooded Strand cracks, looking for basic island, he says. Interesting. The thing is that like we still have Temnachrom here over with 3 open mana. We also have Corvold here sitting on 6 open mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, I'm wondering if he tries to go for it if there's answers in response.
I like specifically try to cast Kennen out. Man, that is tough. You're right about that.
I mean, it would be a way to slow him down, right? Like at least like two response back to the zone for next time.
Like it definitely helps that he has Ancient Tomb, so it doesn't hurt him that much. Looks like we got a land for turn. It doesn't hurt him that much, but at the same time, it still sets him back a turn because you're using the color mana there.
Is it a double size stack? It is, Chad. It's a double animal style size stack. That's exactly what we're dealing with tonight.
Animal sized. Hey, yo.
Animal style, baby. Kennen player asked the table, let him cook for a second. So I think he's going to go in the back and hop on the fryer, see what he can come up with.
Beautiful. Riveting.
Metaphors.
But I am very excited to see what we're going to get from here. It doesn't, if he's trying to cook here, probably a new tutor that's going to be coming out. Let's see, before, if you could technically get Glenna Lindra out, or you could just go. It could be Perplexing Chimera. You could have a Finale of Devastation or a Court of Calling. Getting through our Brazilian cuts here. It's either chord for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's either chord for 4 or finale for 4.
2 for Kennen, and
oh boy.
Kennen resolves, chat. So let's see what we got here. Ancient Tomb for 2. Ooh.
Kennen is a very strong deck. I always feel bad whenever I have to play against my friend who plays Kennen because I have to be so mean to him. Like you have to be mean to this deck in order to just stop it. Like it can't do anything. It can't have fun if you want to win the game.
Yeah.
You know? Like, sure, Perplexing Chimera is a nice card to have every now and then, but
Yeah.
oh my goodness, the number of times I've seen my friend flip into a Void Winnower is unfair.
The Void Winter is what got me, actually, when I played Kinnan the first time. He did a Kinnan activation, got a Void Winter off of it, and I said, great.
Trying to decide.
Yeah,
Like,
Kinnan players having a conversation here with the Corvold player. It seems like it's like, what do I commit to the board? What do I not here? If I'm gonna get punched by Corvold again, do I hold up anything or do I not? Right? Where's the dragon going?
mhm. Yeah, it looks like the dragon has already marked its target. Corvold has wounded's all the way down to 23 already.
Oh, yeah, you should absolutely, if you can commander damage out the cannon player and then turn around and take the big dragon to both Timna and Crom and Paco Halden, like I think that's absolutely the right play to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's not much to negotiate as far as I can tell.
If it does happen to end that way, because once again, it was very clear that he was trying, or Silver was trying to go for the win here. Popped Hope of Gearper, even it looked like even inside of combat,
Mm-hmm.
It was post damage before main phase,
Yep.
pop it and then tried to go for it,
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks like we're discussing Hope just
We're discussing the Hope of Gearper, yeah.
like it's
the Cannon player's like, oh yeah, that line of text on the Hope of Gearper is very, very helpful because now nothing I do really matters. So, all right.
yeah,
little bit, yeah.
Like because it's can't cast non-creature spells, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And can't activate ability, or no,
Yeah.
not can't activate abilities. Silly me, I'm thinking of Grand Abolisher, of which can only be played by one deck at this table. Man, screw Grand Abolisher. All my homies hate Grand Abolisher.
I don't know. I kind of love Grand Abolisher.
Oh, if I was playing more decks that had white in it, absolutely 100%, I'd jam it all day. But
Yeah.
I'm a very Grixis boy. I love me Grixis deck.
See, I am not. I'm like my core color identity is white. I love silence. I love Grand Abolisher. I want to take my time. I want to make sure that I have enough pacing to get through the early to mid game. I want things protected. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy, it's the goodest boy.
Yes.
He's gonna go fetching.
The bestest boy. Ooh, Tendacrom says,
Bowmasters.
Bowmaster in response.
Oh no. Oh man, that's a terrifying card to play when there's a Ristic on the battlefield.
Yeah, where does the 1 damage go, Shot?
Elvish Mystic.
Mm.
It goes and snipes Kinnan's mana piece over there. For sure. It either goes through that or it goes to Kinnan itself to prevent Ristic draws in the future.
Right.
Oh man, Bowmasters is such a meta warping card.
It's
like
so good.
Because that was the original reason why I got off of. Was playing Timna Thrasios there for a little bit myself. I was doing mana dork things and trying to figure out how to make it good again. And then Bowmasters came out and sniped all of my 1/1s, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll die then.
Yeah. I got to do my first Bowmaster flash in response to a wheel, and I was like, "Oh, this feels so lovely. This is just so good." Like, but it is. It's like it's an insanely pushed card as far as like it's CMC, it's flash ability, and the fact that it's more than once per turn. Like, there's so many ways in which you can change it to make it more manageable, and instead it's just like all the best things put into one.
looks like the damage actually went over to the Deathrite Shaman. So it
It
looks like
did indeed.
we're still on the hate the Corval train over here. Even though
Mhm.
Bowmasters itself is going to do a phenomenal job with that. Every time he tries to draw a card, something over there is going to get pinged.
Yeah.
Looks like a draw from the Rhystic Study. We're trying to get mana trigger on, or trying to exile a land and get
Yep.
a mana on the stack.
Absolutely. Floating a green here off the Deathrite Shaman. Paco resolves.
Now, if you're the Paco player, I guess there's only one place it can go, and that
Safely, the Corvold. Yeah.
Mhm. Because I feel like Timnacrom would have no issues with double blocking here.
hmm
All right. Tap another.
Paco trigger on the stack. Corvold player is thinking. Very interested to see what we're going to get off this if it resolves.
Mm-hmm. I think it. Yep, there's the necromancy
targeting.
It's got to be Dockside again, right?
It's got to be
Paying for
Dockside,
heuristic.
yeah. Dockside, Deathrite, Hope-a-Gearper.
Yeah. Those are really the only three cards. If you land Hope, if you grab Hope, then you're going for the win next turn.
Yeah.
Because Hope will deal combat damage, sacrifice it, can't cast. But Dockside here is the much safer option. You'll continue to draw cards. You will make your dragon much bigger.
Ooh, that is a Noxious Revival targeting the Dockside in response to the Necromancy. Wow. Wow.
Heads up play right there. Being
Mm-hmm.
able to being able to understand, yeah, he definitely has a flash checks or flash return spell. There wouldn't be any reason for this to be
Mm-hmm.
happening.
We're resolving the Bowmasters now. Bowmasters looks like it's targeting the elves off the Rhystic from the Noxious Revival. This is also the thing about Bowmasters, Chat, is that the micro triggers that happen inside the stack with Rhystic and Mystic in cedh as it's resolving.
It really keeps you on your toes. Like, so I have a dog. His name is Trigger,
Aww.
and I love him to death. But I've printed out trigger tokens specifically because of all these micro triggers that have begun to happen. Rhystics that turn into Bowmaster triggers that turn into potentially the pirates, not plundering pirates. 4 mana black. Whenever a creature dies, you create a treasure token.
Pitiless Plunderer.
Hitless Plunderer. There it is. Thank you all very much.
Let's see. Off the top, because the Noxious Revival, we do know the Dockside. Looks like there was a Mana Dork off the Kennen and an Exotic Orchard off the Temnacrom.
This has been a very well thought out game here. I imagine there's been so much communication going on between all the players. Bravo
There
to
is.
them.
There's a lot of dialogue happening back and forth. I'm trying to keep up with it as we keep going through commentary. I like it. I would rather the table be talking than the table not. At least that's my opinion in like casual EDH and also at my cedh games that I do sit at, because it's like it's a discussion. We can work together. We are not all enemies all the time.
And there very much is a strong difference between discussion and bullying, and it very much feels like here there's way more input exput rather than, hey, you need to do this because otherwise we lose. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel forced, and that's what's the best thing about this game.
Well, and it's also what we saw in round 2 earlier on stream, Chat. If you were around for round 2, that bully into the new Narset, and then the not taking the bully line won that Winota player of the game. So
Yeah.
that was a very fascinating moment of politics, of table conversation, and I'm so glad we got to see it on this tournament today. Corvold
Uh-oh.
untaps and faces back in, chat. Here we go.
Dockside's in hand because of the Noxious Revival.
Mm-hmm. No, Dockside exile to the Paco trigger.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's right. Oh, man. You still have a big dragon here, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still large enough for 2 hits at this point. 3 hits, apologies. Still 10-10.
We're gonna crack the fetch, trigger Corvold. That is was that
It's a
7,
12.
8 cards? How many
It's
cards? Jeez.
for the Kinnan player.
No, for the Corvold. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's 8. Looks like he started. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. It's the most card draw heavy deck that's not playing blue.
Mm-hmm.
How a Sans blue deck is able to draw this many cards, it can only be Corvold. Can't be
Done,
anything else.
baby. Yeah. Gotta be the greedy King Dragon.
And there's another pop. Spell Table's just been throwing a fit today. It's like, no, we don't want your silly tournament on our platform. Go away. Hope we can get the Tymna Crom player back onto our screens here in a moment.
There we go. There is the Orcish Bowmaster trigger is on the stack. The target was called. Now there's conversation on taking it back, but it doesn't look like we're going to.
If it's on the stack, it's on the stack,
Exactly.
I mean, technically, there, if I recall correctly, in gameplay, if the whole table agrees, you could take it back.
Mm-hmm.
But you're at the edge of trying to get into these tournaments here. You got to force the plays to happen, If there's a mistake that happens, capitalize on it. It's a downside, but we're there.
Yeah.
We're at the point where every card draw matters at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And Corvold is definitely proven that. Corvold and Kinnan has drawn a lot of cards. I feel once again feel really bad for the Tymna Crom player. Obviously, very well put together deck. Obviously, one of the most used decks. Like last year, throughout all of the Mox Masters events, Tymna Crom was entered 115 times through 13 events. That's about an average of 8 times in an event.
Wow.
Obviously, a very popular deck. And this game, it just doesn't feel like it got the wheels off the ground fast enough. It didn't get kicking soon enough. It's obviously never out. You have
No.
2 card draw engines in the command zone, but you are severely behind. And it feels bad, but at the same, but oh man, having a 3/3 army that's going to continue growing definitely helps.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's something to be said about, right? Like if it ain't broke, right, don't fix it. Like the fact that it's been entered into so many tournaments across this entire year, it's just proof that like it has legs, it has wheels. I ran Tymna Crom as a casual list when I was building 4-color curses, and I agree. Just having 2 commanders in your command zone that draw cards is value because one is a proactive and one is a reactive, and you get card draw on both sides of game actions with them.
Cursed curses.
Yeah, beseech the mirror. Sacking the soul ring for the mirror.
What do you get here?
Are we?
Because that gemstones is not online, so you only have the green and colorless floating.
We are resolving multiple micro triggers here, which is the Bowmaster trigger, the Corval trigger, before we even go to the Beseech the Mirror tutor.
Let's see. Because technically Beseech the Mirror could go get Beseech the Mirror could go get Praetor's Grasp.
Yeah,
And then from Praetor's Grasp you can go get Paco or Tymna Crom's Dockside Extortionist. Once again, disconnected webcam, unfortunately.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a Praetor's Grasp in the list here. I wonder if he's going to go get. Do we have another reanimation spell to get back to the dock side? What are we grabbing?
Unfortunately, Dockside is exiled.
Oh, that's
That
right. Dockside is
and
exiled.
it will never be cast again through Apocalypse Hoglin. They know that this is the bread and butter of the deck. So
Yeah.
uh like obviously you could get Carrion Feeder.
Yeah,
And
not bad.
you could instead of trying to go get, more mana, more treasures, go get a sacrifice outlet and then just start casting creatures slowly.
Hmm.
Let's see, it's never a tutor for a tutor.
That also could change the game a lot. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, One Ring, Culling Ritual. There's a lot of four traps that I didn't even consider until I started looking at this list.
Yeah. Culling Ritual is a game warping card. Like even in casual, I've seen Culling Ritual completely turn games upside down. I was at a casual table and the Guillaume player was so far behind, Culling Ritual for 24 and then
Yeah.
turned around and won the game in a turn. It's
Mhm.
like it's that powerful.
There is absolutely a reason why I run Iacrom right now, and it's strictly because of Culling Ritual. Looks like we've been disconnected for quite some time. I hope he makes it back. Hmm. Hopefully there. I wonder if there's a judge call on that. Looking like nothing was brought up.
No.
Yeah, it does.
The Kitten player is politicking very hard right now around what options he has to like do anything. Um Bowmaster. Okay, so in order to keep the game actions moving forward, we're going to do Bowmaster to the face instead of trying to politic where that one damage should be going. Back to
Interesting.
Besiege the Mirror. Yeah, there was a lot of table talk around the Bowmaster damage.
Because, once again, no dockside is very hard to go from there. What is that card? Give me this core vault list.
What is this card?
Is that the new greedy freebooter? Maybe. No. This is a. Unfortunately, the lighting is super bad. We'll try to get that card for the chat here in a second. It looks big. It looks like a giant of some sort. Getting in the arms, getting in the way of our wonderful producer behind the scenes here. Oh yeah, zombie infestation would
Yeah,
absolutely get this Corfold back into the game. Been a very long time since I've seen that card play out.
it is in the
Ooh,
deck. Yeah, Zombie Infestation is in the deck, so that is what it is.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh man,
Yeah. Wow.
I definitely like that. Transitioning from oh hey, I'm going to try to combo off game plan to oh, it's time to go wide. It's time to expand my expand the army and just beat face.
With the Gaia's Cradle too, that's very, very interesting. Discard a few cards, build the board. Those zombies are sackable. Tap the Gaia's Cradle for a bunch of mana.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. All right, we're going to combat chat.
Oh my goodness, this core vault is huge.
Mm-hmm. Is a 13, 13, 13 going into, looks like Paco Halden here.
Interesting. Sacrificing the useless gemstone caverns.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, great card, turn one. Great card in opening hand.
Yeah.
Terrible card all the other times.
So
Perfect
15
sack
damage
fodder.
total. So we have a 15-15 core ball chat. I'm very intrigued why we didn't get the Cannon player off the board, but I think there was some pretty aggressive politicking around why the Cannon player is not a threat. So hence moving the dragon to the Paco Halden player.
Because
Right.
like Halden can't cast Dockside. So yeah, no, there had to be huge politicking going on there.
Yeah, the Cannon player reveals the land off the draw there. Like I really don't I don't have a lot happening.
Not a lot happening, but the Cannon activation can turn anything. It's any game upside down.
That's what I'm saying. Like this is very interesting. I'm not sure like how I like there is a whole thing around revealing a card in hand or like a few cards in hand. Some people are like very against it. Some people are totally okay with it. Like whether you define it as public knowledge or not. My theory is always like I don't want to know. Like you can if you want to politic it hard, sure. Like let's have the conversation, but um we're not in court. I don't need evidence presented here, right? Like I didn't go to law school for this, so
Man, I can't believe you delivered a guilty verdict to this poor Cannon player over here already. I just top deck a land. It's all that I got,
yeah.
And offshore accounts has all of his void winnowers and his ginger taxes and stuff like that stored up and ready to come out.
So we're at turn 5 here. I will say, so one of the things that I like to do on my channel, chat, is around turn 5 or 6, I like to open it up to chat. Based on these board states, who do you think is going to win this game, right? Based on what the Cannon players got on board, the Ristic, the Manglehorn Cannon, Paco's got a few triggers and is decently big. Lotho Bowmasters for 10 Necrom, and a 15/15 Corfald with the Zombie Infestation. What do you think? Who's going to take the game?
I want to know what card that Cannon player just flashed. It looked like it was a Masterpiece artifact.
Mm-hmm.
I thought for a split second it was Trinisphere. I'm like, no, it can't be.
It can't
no,
be.
it It was. Oh, it drew a Trinisphere, of which is terrifying for the rest of the table.
Yeah, that's
obviously you can't drop it. Like you can't drop it with a 15/15 dragon on the battlefield right now.
Yeah, and you can't drop it around like turn 5 and this far into the round timer as well. Like how much are you going to slow the game down and prevent people from removing the potential 15/15 dragon?
Mm-hmm.
I think the out's got to be faster.
Full art card. Oof. That's a finale of devastation.
It looks like a finale of devastation for 1. I believe the Cannon player is going to go get a flying blocker, which is likely a birds. That's where we're at, chat, right now, and I'm 100% here for it. It's
a flesh duplicate. It comes in for 2.
X equals 2 there.
Interesting.
Flesh duplicate into.
Not a Bowmaster.
Not a Bowmaster.
And definitely not a Corfald, because you can't utilize it as well. I mean, it might just have to be Corfald though.
I mean, it is a flying blocker.
Mm-hmm. Wait,
this is a very interesting conversation.
Because Flesh Duplicate can come in as a copy of any creature.
Correct.
Manglehorn. Manglehorn to get rid, or let's see, Manglehorn's only artifacts, isn't it? Yep, destroy target artifact. Okay. I was thinking you were trying to get rid of the zombie infestation.
Yeah.
But can't quite do that.
Chat is saying probably Luke here. Removal spell getting through stops the entirety of what Corvold's doing. Looks like Cannon is struggling to get a decent value engine. Same issue for Paco. Luke is so good. I hope he gets there. We'll see, chat. We had 2 votes in chat for Luke. Flesh Duplicate coming in as a copy of. Looks like I believe it is coming in as a copy of the Corvold, though.
Yeah, have a flying blocker with Vanishing 3. If you draw into fetch lands, you can always sacrifice them and draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there was any other thing I want. Yeah, it's not really good board in order to drop the flesh duplicate. So
Yeah.
just trying to survive.
The conversation at the table is he court of callings saying I'm gonna go get a flying blocker and then gets the flesh duplicate and the table's like, well, wait a second, is that a flying blocker? And it's like, well, it could be. It could also be a boat. Like we don't, like
That darn changelings, they can be anything, and
Mhm.
I absolutely love that. That's why I was very happy when me and my friend were working on Italian list, and we
Mhm.
shoved so many clones into that bad boy because there's so many good value pieces now
Yeah.
going on here. ETB sacrifices the Manglehorn, which
Hmm.
unlocks the Lotho much more.
Yeah.
Draws a card, Bowmaster trigger. We now have a 4/4. Not quite growing as fast as Corvold over here. Nothing ever does. Not growing quite as fast as Halden does. But if you take your eye off of it for 1 second, it becomes an 8/8/9/9 very
Yep.
quickly. So don't lose sight amongst these big creatures that you miss out on this growing mass army that's coming.
The forest. So he cracks the fetch to get the forest. The forest is the last fetchable land in the deck. So we don't know how many more of these core ball triggers we're going to be getting off this flesh duplicate.
I mean, you can always sack, like, if you have the fetch lands, you can always sack them and then fail to find.
And they fail to find. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
100% true.
There's not a whole lot of um, there's not a whole lot of good cards that you could potentially draw into here. Like maybe a bounce spell might help you out. There's a soul
Hmm.
ring.
Interesting.
3 mana. It's an artifact.
Let's see. Yeah, we're going to trigger Lotho off the second spell, which is the Soul Ring here.
Looks like a lot of debate going on right now.
Yeah. This is a spell skite. That's what that is.
That is a
Yeah,
very interesting looking spell sky.
it is. I can't figure out what the
It's a
looks like maybe
promo.
it's a judge promo. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, discarding the Trinisphere as you should shows a lot of respect for your other 2 players that's trying to help you take down this dragon deck.
Yep, absolutely.
Has anyone in the chat made the joke yet?
What's the joke?
Man, I can't believe about this dragon deck. Dragon D's nuts.
Oh my god.
We got there.
Oh man. Move to combat chat. Paco trigger on the stack. Looks like we got a Lotus Petal here. We got a Dauntless Dismantler.
That's a transmute artifact.
That is a transmute artifact. Yep.
There's a side of me that thinks that transmute artifact is underplayed, but then there's another side of me that realizes there's a lot of other great tutors in the format.
There really are.
There's a lot of great tutors in the format.
Timnachrom takes the 8 damage off the Paco. So it doesn't throw the Bowmaster or Lotho in front of it.
You're not in danger zone yet.
No, not at all.
Because first swing went over to the Corvald, so yeah, you're sitting comfortable. All right. The only thing that I'm terrified of right now is there's a little bit what's going on the table right now. 3 untapped mana from Timna Krom means intuition. And
Mm,
intuition piles are the scariest thing a Timna Krom deck can throw at you. Because you
hmm
can go because their deck is so jam-packed with so much value, they can get their best 3 cards, they can go for combo pieces, and
Yeah,
they can try to force a win right here, right now, if they really wanted to.
yeah. So cast Halden, risk 6 steady trigger on the stack. Yeah, the Pocket Halden player needs to get Halden on the board here in order to do anything. He'll pay for it. Okay, great.
Respectable player doing respectable things.
Yep, we play the Exotic Orchard from Exile that came off the Tim Necrom earlier.
And we do need somebody to make a play though coming up
Yes,
here.
we have 10 minutes left in the round, chat, so we are going to need something to shift. Haha. A brief conversation with the table was like, well, what do we do about it? We have 10 minutes left, and the floorball player is like, no, 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 we're playing this. We're playing this.
Corval,
I have a giant dragon. We're playing this.
as you should, as you should. Because let's see, where is he at on the? Currently, they all have 10 points, and with um right now the Corval player is sitting at 17. So right on the cusp of making it into the top 16, getting ready for semifinals.
Yeah, I would say who needs this the most, right? Who needs to win the most out of this pot of four?
And all of them do.
All of them,
I
right?
believe all except for Max has 10 points, but Max has 11 points. And with everybody 1 through 4, I believe 1 through 4 has drawn. So we're really trying to pack in these last 16, 15, 14 positions down here.
Mm-hmm.
And so this Corvald wants to be in the room where it happened.
Absolutely. So Orcish Bowmaster goes in along with Lotho, attacking the Corvold player. Corvold player discarding 4 cards here to the zombie infestation to make 2/2 zombie tokens. The question is, do you block or do you leave them for your turn?
Interesting. He was thinking about Gaia's Cradle there.
Mm-hmm. He really is. Yeah.
So I wonder, doesn't have enough green for cord. Let's think about this for a second
Yeah. It's
because
not a lot of damage here.
there's definitely trying to get. Okay, so Verdant Catacombs and just
Mm-hmm.
bleeding hand to the table. Like
Yeah.
get to recognize that creature well enough. Oh, we're discarding right
Yep.
hand.
Discarding 2 more, making another zombie.
It was activated sleeper.
Okay.
Which
We have
yeah,
declaring blocks.
at this point, there's not going to be a lot of creatures that you want that enter into the graveyard unless you block the Bowmaster, kill them out, and kill it. But
Mm-hmm.
really liking this really slow, methodical approach to the game. It's good for healthy communications. It's good to have great respect
Wow.
for the table.
Yeah. Court of Calling.
Oh, because you got one more out there.
Yeah. That's
Ah,
great. So
yeah.
he assigns the blockers, taps the cradle for 4, and then convokes the zombies on the Court of Calling. Very interesting.
Board for 3. Let's see.
So draw off the wrist stick, trigger Bowmaster. Bowmaster trigger goes to. Not much it can go into at this point, honestly.
Could be either a Chatterfang, could be a Bowmaster of his own. Could be an Impulsive Pilferer.
Mm-hmm.
You'd kind of net negative mana on that, but you'd net gain card draw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the Hail Mary here, chat, right? Because Corvald has no cards in hand left. Will technically be losing one of these zombie tokens by blocking the Lotho. So whatever this creature is off the Court of Calling, which does look like it's for 1, 2, 3, 4.
We got blue sap and mana
7.
here.
Mm-hmm.
Hardcast Force. Ah, Otawara.
Targeting the Bowmaster to save it from the block.
Yep. Lou is definitely looking for a draw here.
Yep.
Which is very interesting. Because this probably will be Lou's last turn. Under the 5 minutes left in the round now. So
and there's a Dispel off the Cannon player.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Court of Calling dispelled.
We made it back around to the Corvald's turn. Looks like some talking going on. And there we go.
Untap up, Q draw. What is it? Heart of the cards, chat. Heart of the cards.
Well, I think the first thing you do is you attack first.
Yeah.
Probably take out the Halden. Oh, they played. I've been doing
it is a prize statue.
I've been doing a very poor job at recognizing art pieces today.
Yeah, so prize statue to CMC when it enters or is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, make a treasure token.
Oh, that's why. I'm on the wrong deck. There we go. Yes. So we're swing and then move to attack triggers.
Yep. Draw one, get a treasure. So the flesh duplicate is blocking the Corvald because since they're both Corvalds.
Interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't take the Pocket Halden player out here. I guess, yeah, I guess it comes down to a conversation around king making then here. So like if you take out the Pocket Halden player, do you give either Kennen or Tim Necrom the game? Because what you have is what you have on board right now. You have no cards in hand left.
Not a Phyrexian altar.
Ristic. It's very interesting. We are coming down to the very last few minutes here, Chad. This is the Jenga Tower.
It's obviously very stressful gameplay coming up here. I think, yeah, with Paco Halden casting Halden, casting Halden, that's very much felt like it was a signal that, yeah, I'm out of this game. I'm happy for a draw. And so we are looking for either Corvald to finish the game, or most likely this game will end in a draw.
Ristic on the stack. We flash back in the Orcish Bowmaster. But role players digging for something, anything here. Orcish Bowmaster keeps pinging Corvold here for one in the face.
I mean,
might as well.
If you're the one who's drawing, he who draws the cards
gets the ping in the face.
Apologies. It's 2020.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Apologies. It's 2023. They who draw the cards.
They who draw the cards get the ping in the face.
There
Absolutely.
Lot of thinking going on here.
Mm-hmm. Mana Vault, Ristic Study trigger, draw a card, trigger Bowmaster. All right, chat, that is time in the round. Active player, finish the turn.
Yep, gotta go.
Yeah.
One chance in order to try to crack the top 16. Chatter? No, that's not Chatterfang. Because actually, is it? I think it is Chatterfang.
Got a Nature's Claim from Paco Halden targeting the zombie infestation.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, so that artifact there is the Ashnod altar.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is a combo right there.
Zombie infestation gone. Nature's Claim resolved. Yeah. Oof. That was close.
Back to the squirrel.
Yeah. Ristic Study trigger off the Nature's Claim. Kinnan draws a card. Trigger Bowmaster. Corvold gets another ping to the face. We're back to the Chatterfang on the stack, which looks like it will resolve.
That is so unfortunate. Being able to have Chatterfang and just having that combo right there, gearing up and ready to go, and not being able to get it completed. Yeah, is very unfortunate.
Kinnan, Force of Will pitching to counter the Chatterfang.
Yeah.
Resolves, yep. What's crazy, Chad, and this is sort of like what I find fascinating about Corvold is like literally no cards in hand, top of the turn, untap, and we get to Ashnod's altar into Chatterfang, still potentially going to win the game, but thwarted on both sides.
Yeah, this has been a very control-heavy matchup from everybody. We move to the end of the round, and it looks like we will take the draw here. That, unfortunately, probably knocks out all. Yep, there we go. There's
a Force of Will, there's a Pact is still in hand. There's so much response still in hand from all of these players, so it looks like we're going to take the draw, chat, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
So
honestly, that was a solid game of response, like big threat response. Everybody's keeping each other in check here, and it's really hard to find the end to close the game out.
Very well played game overall, and it definitely shakes up the. It doesn't unfortunately shake up the leaderboard very much, but we're really happy to see the last play there as these guys came out for the round 5. Yeah. Just fighting all the way to the end. A lot of these guys probably have 2 losses under their belt, and if they had 2 losses or 2 draws, if they had just one more under their belt, maybe they'd make it there. I see maybe 1 or 2, or no, they're all at 10 points, and right now the highest one has a ops win percentage of 47.83. And so they did lose that person did lose their game, so there might be one person with 10 points who sneaks right into here and is able
Ooh.
to just really snipe it. So
I
good,
would
good.
be super interested. Sounds like they have keyword ability Skulk. They're just going to slide right in there underneath.
Hmm. Once again, very good game all around. Looks like we have one or two more games that are trying to wrap up here.
Yep, for
Uh,
sure. I will
eh,
say while these games wrap up, it is 6:49 chat, which means you have 10 minutes left on the charity auction for either one of the playmats that are going up for auction, either the blue or the orange. This all the donations here through the auction will be going to benefit SBCS, San Diego. Their mission is to transform communities to support the well-being and prosperity of children, youth, and families throughout San Diego County. So it is going to a wonderful cause. These playmats are absolute fire. Whoever
mhm.
gets the orange one, I'm going to be super jealous of you, but I think it's going to be stunning. Bids are up to blue is up to about $199 actual bid, and then 158 for the orange. So chat, you have 10 minutes before the bidding closes on the auction. So get them in if you want them. And
I
yeah,
remember at
that
this. I remember at the start of the day they were sitting at $35 a piece. So
right.
well done to everybody. Thank you all for donating here.
Yeah, you're absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So that will be our round 5. Chat, coming up next here, once the rest of these pods clear up, we are going into the semi-finals of Mox Masters December. I cannot wait
There,
to see what we got.
there's going to be a lot of good decks coming up. We hope you stick with us. Stay tuned for some great finals action coming up here from Mox Masters, brought to you by Playing with Power.